I'm Sharon Collins, and this is the Real Smile Podcast, brought to you by Smile Productions. Right, so Natalie.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So we were only talking yesterday, weren't we? So welcome to my podcast. This is the fourth one. So thank you for agreeing to come, and we've known each other since you were a little girl.
Yeah.
And I was thinking after we spoke yesterday, when did I very first meet Natalie? And it was when you were a little girl, and I was teaching. I had my own school in Stockbridge Village, but I was also a lifeguard.
Yeah. I didn't know you were a lifeguard.
Yeah, I was a lifeguard.
In the leisure centre.
I was a lifeguard. I trained to be a lifeguard just as a little extra thing.
Yeah.
And I was lifeguarding in different baths,
Never knew that.
in swimming baths in for Knowsley Council. So I was in Heighton Leisure Centre and I was lifeguarding. So when they realised I was also a dance teacher and blah blah blah, they said to me, "Okay, would you do some classes?" So I'd done these classes on, I can't remember what days it was. It might have been a Saturday morning or something.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what day it was. But you came to that class and then you ended up coming
to Stockbridge Village,
to my own Sharon Collins School of Dance and Drama. So, and you were always gifted. Always. Absolutely. You know, as a teacher, you obviously know now.
Yeah.
When you just spot a child with something special and you think, so I was eager beaver thinking, right, get Natalie into my schools. Like, you know, this was just a fun class in Heighton Leisure that you'd come to do.
Yeah.
But straight away, when you came into the class, you were attentive. Oh. You were hardworking. You were well behaved.
Was I?
You know, you're like that child that you think that is attentive and listening and like a sponge, basically, and ready to learn. And I thought, and you were beautiful.
Oh,
you know, you know, to look at, and I thought this child has got like that little X Factor thing going on. So so then I quickly
how it began.
I quickly spoke to your mum and said, "I've got a school, I'm brother." And she brought and you had different people train you over the years. I think you came to me till you were about 12 or 13.
Yeah.
I had Marcus, and sort of my school changed a little bit after that, and you went to Elite, didn't you? But we've always stayed friends, really, and stuff. I think we've got even closer as we've got older, especially since lockdown. Yeah. I think we were like each other's shoulder to cry on with.
And it just seems like it's gone like that, but we was in lockdown speaking a lot on the phone, wasn't it?
Yeah. You know, I was, God, so many things were happening, and we won't go on about lockdown, but we did really support each other. Yeah. Didn't we really? And I'd say that, we've got, so let's go back to the beginning. So you were an amazing little student when you were little, and then you carried on.
Yeah, and once my mum always said I danced in the house years before she started me in dance class, and she used to say, "Natalie, I want to take you to dance class," and I'd always say no. I just refused.
Did you?
Yeah, so I started quite late.
That surprises me.
Yeah, I was 8, which I think, you know, some kids start at 2. And she always said, but once I got you in, I couldn't get you out.
That was it.
That was it. So once I was in to that first class, it was everything. It was my everything. It has been my everything. I think dancers, it's shaped who I am, you know, as a person, dancing and drama, which I kind of went into a little bit later, more the drama and the singing. But I remember you talking to my mum, and I remember her saying, "Sharon wants you to go to Stockbridge Village," and my mum being like, "It's so far," and it was only from Heighton to Stockbridge Village.
You needed to be, in my eyes, you needed to be doing exam work. You needed structure. You didn't need just a fun class at Heighton Leisure Centre.
No, and I did thrive, and I remember being so excited to go and buy tap shoes, and and it was like a really amazing beginning.
Was it that little green leotard at the time?
Well, yeah, you used to have the blue and the white leggings. Yeah, and that was it. And I was fully, it was everything. I would never have missed it for the world.
Yeah, you never look back, really, have you?
No.
Yeah. So, what happened when you got? Obviously, you know, you had a really good foundation.
Yeah.
I mean, because, like, my favourite classes to take were jazz,
Yeah.
modern,
Yeah.
drama,
Yeah.
singing. They were always musical theatre. They were always my favourite classes to teach. But I always had other people coming in. I used to teach the ISTD modern syllabus, but I always had other teachers coming in to teach the RAD ballet syllabus, and later the ISTD ballet syllabus, and the ISTD tap syllabus as well, which I used to do some of that and have some other people teaching as well.
Yeah.
But you had that foundation, and then where you continued as a teenager closer to home, which worked better for you
Yeah.
and your family, you carried on with that, didn't you?
Yeah,
And
carried on.
that
And then
core
went to-
foundation.
Yeah, and I went to Liverpool Theatre School then at 16.
Tell us about that.
In there. So that was, it was amazing. The college is now a lot bigger, and it's now Central Studios. Liverpool Theatre School is part of that, but it was much smaller. It was in Egbert.
I didn't realise what you know.
Yeah, so it's Central Studios is got like all different courses, but when kind of way back when, because I graduated in 2008, which is a long time ago now.
Yeah.
You could do a foundation course and then a musical theatre course, and that's all you could do. And the years were very small.
Yeah.
But the training was exceptional.
Yeah.
And the teachers we had, a lot of them still teaching there now. They were world class. I didn't realise how amazing it was until I even look back now and think we had the best training. Some of them teachers are no longer here, like Suzanne O'Keefe was our singing teacher.
Oh, Miss Suzanne.
Suzanne,
She taught me at Merseyside as well.
She's like, obviously she's passed away, and we had Tessa Hetzbeath for drama.
She taught me as a child
She's
as well.
passed away. And just really brilliant people, and they're still going strong now, a lot of them, and still teaching the new generation. But the training was exceptional in Liverpool Theatre.
That you're really grateful for that.
Yeah, it really, everything strengthens across the board. I mean, I had Sam for ballet, Sam McCabe, and she is the ballet queen.
Samantha Carlson.
Yeah.
Wasn't she before McCabe? She was, because when I first, because she used to teach ballet.
I know.
Me,
Yeah.
didn't she?
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan. Samantha.
Sam's ballet.
She's beautiful.
And I will.
She was a prima ballerina, Sam.
Oh yeah,
wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Australian National Ballet. Yeah, I've got lots of respect for Sam.
And if I have some kids who like really want to do ballet, I will send them to Sam. Yeah, because I'm like, she is the best person for this job. Yeah. And I think that's quite natural, like kind of healthy to do. If there's a child who comes to you and you think, I think you need more from someone else for that, I will do that. And I think that's quite a good thing to do, because not everyone.
Well, that's because you're
not
the person
will do that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's not about the fee.
No,
it's about
what's best for that kid,
that child, and being person-centred with them and what's best for them, isn't it?
And they might still come to you for other stuff, but if there's certain things in particular that someone specialises in, then I will be like, you need that.
Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah, and I think Sam, she taught me a lot in my ballet, and then singing teachers brought my voice out. Before I went to Liverpool Theatre School, I used to sing in the house, and I wasn't, the best all the time. I was like belting it out, trying to be a pop star. Dad used to go, oh, Nat, give it a rest. Then once I started in Liverpool Theatre School, I remember it being like, oh, it sounds all right, Nat. My dad used to go, oh, was that you singing up there? And I'd be like, yeah, and my voice got trained properly. I'd just been belting in my bedroom for a long time. Not really had any proper singing lessons as such, no private one-to-ones. And then I got back at Liverpool Theatre School, I got one-to-ones with Miss Suzanne, and my voice improved greatly. So it became like, oh, Natalie can dance. And now she started to sing, and she's getting quite good at drama. So I started to become that triple threat, which I wanted to be. And the college definitely gave me that.
Yeah, and helped develop that in you.
Yeah.
Amazing. I always remember when you left college, the standard that you were at.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I was at my peak then.
Wow. And some photographs you've got from then.
Yeah.
You've got some amazing photographs, haven't you?
Yeah.
Was that like, were they taking a college?
So, well, when I was at Liverpool Theatre School, when I was in, I think, my second year, they said, right, we want you, and there was a boy in there, Gary, who was great, to do a photo shoot for the college. So we did a photo shoot outside the lava buildings, doing all these jumps.
And right.
We were like the face of the college for a bit. And then after I graduated, I used to get a lot of people asking me, will you do a photo shoot for me?
Yeah.
Can you do it for free, but we'll give you all the photos? So I used to do it and go like, well, yeah, because I get a whole portfolio of photos.
Yeah.
for
And you've
free.
always been beautiful on the outside as well, Natalie. So you've always got that English rose look about you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, if that's a thing, I think it is, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
you've always had beautiful skin and you always had a beautiful sparkly eyes.
And I just worked dead hard. You know, I always said yes to kind of everything. And I think that's why.
You always had a good attitude.
Yeah, I was into it.
And that was from a little girl.
Yeah.
So you had that right through. So, you know, I imagine if you were at college, you were probably still like a sponge.
I was dead driven.
And you know what else I think it is as well, I've noticed about you. You know, we're both from very working class families.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for every class and everything we've ever had.
Yeah.
And that can sometimes really take you places in your life because
100%.
you appreciate so much that you've been given.
Definitely.
Every little opportunity.
Yeah, I agree with you so much in that. I remember, you know, my mum and dad, the sacrifices they made to send me to dance class. You know, I remember my mum selling jewellery to pay for my dance class.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't afford it. And like, if that happened now, if I knew one of my parents was doing that, I'd be like, they can come for free. You know, like I literally would, but no one knew because my mum just done it.
Well, you know, years ago.
My mum just did that. But like, what a sacrifice.
Oh, what a sacrifice.
So no wonder I had that fire in my belly because I thought, well, I've been given all these years of lessons and sacrifice from my parents and I will make something of this. And I have. But I think it definitely gave me that because look at what they'd put into me.
Yeah. I remember the same kind of sacrifices of my parents. I remember our dance school that I used to go to as a kid. Joan Bauer used to teach me, which I love Joan Bauer to this day. I've got a lot of respect for her. And I still use some of the things that she taught me now in my head.
Yeah.
But she moved to another building, basically another church hall further away. And my mum and dad were that skint at one point that he couldn't really afford to put enough petrol in the car to go there and back and then have 2 hours rest in a home or whatever and then come back and get me. So we just waited in the car park for hours, like the level of commitment.
Yeah.
And at the time, my dad used to love a little pint or even just a glass of shandy or anything like that. But he couldn't afford to go in. He used to park in the pub car park facing the church hall. But he couldn't have gone in and get himself even a blackcurrant and soda or something because
he didn't
have enough money.
Yeah.
You know.
But you got to your dance class.
Yeah, but I got to the dance class.
Yeah. And I think now I'm a mum myself.
Yeah.
I realise, wow.
You appreciate that.
But you would do anything for your kids.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wanted to make a career in it because I loved it, but also being like, yeah, God, my mum and dad have invested a lot in this.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a waste. So yeah, I definitely
appreciate it.
Appreciate everything I had, yeah.
So what happened when you left college and you started to think about your professional life?
I know. So when coming towards the end of my third year, very end, you were allowed to audition. And we started auditioning and I went, well, our whole class, somebody came in from a company called UK Productions and somebody came in and did a workshop with our third year. And he said, right, we've got auditions coming up for Seven Brides for Seven Brothers UK tour and we're going to invite the whole class to come. And he said, it's very quick. Normally we cast things over like a couple of weeks, but we're going to cast this over 3 days. So you'll have the first round on the Wednesday. If you get through, you'll be on the Thursday. And if you get through that, you'll be on the Friday. And it was that quick. But a week before that, I'd gone for a cruise ship audition. A week before that audition, I was going for a cruise ship audition. And I got the cruise ship. And as I was driving down to London for this Seven Brides audition on the Wednesday, the cruise ship called me with an offer. And they said, we need to know by tomorrow. But I knew in my head, I hadn't even been in the first round yet, but I knew that the finals for Seven Brides was the Friday. So they said, but we need to know by Thursday. And I said, is there any chance I can let you know on Friday? And they said, yeah, okay. So I thought, right. So I went into Seven Brides and I got through the Wednesday and I travelled back home because I didn't have enough money for a hotel, but I had my return.
Yeah.
So I travelled back home and then I was back in the next morning, travelled down at like 5 a.m. or whatever, got through, and then the Friday I got through to the final. And then at the end of the audition, the director said, right, everyone, that's it. We'll be in touch with your agents. Now, I hadn't got an agent at this point. I hadn't done my end of year showcase, which is where the agents come to watch and get picked up and whatever. So I was very naive, really. And this just turned 19-year-old and just stood there thinking, well, I haven't got an agent, so how am I going to find out? I don't. So I wouldn't recommend anyone to do this, but I walked up to the panel and I said, excuse me, I just wondered if you could tell me if I've got the job. And literally they all went, like, as if to say, is this girl for real? But then I think they were almost like, she's not being arrogant. I think she's just a bit, she doesn't have a clue. So everyone just stood there like with my New Yorkers, like, can you let me know? And he was like, and the director just done like him. I always remember his face, and he said, don't get changed and come back. So I was like, okay. So I went downstairs and loads of the girls in there knew this director. He was quite well known, and he was quite, well to do, and he was very like strict, and he was like, oh, everyone idolized him. And I said, I've just asked, and they just went like, all the girls' faces were like, yeah, is she joking? Like, what? And I was like, packing my stuff away.
Does she realise you don't do that?
Yeah, I thought I'm going to go upstairs now, and he's going to be like, top tips, Yeah. So I sat outside the door with my little suitcase, and he literally just popped his head off the door and went, don't take the cruise. Because I'd said to him, because I've been offered, I need to know as well, because I've been offered a cruise and I don't know if to take it or not. And they were like, and he just popped his head and said, don't take the cruise, darling, you don't need to. And then closed the door. I just burst out crying.
I've just got all goosebumpy.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then he closed the door.
Did you burst out crying?
Burst out crying. He must have heard me open the door again and went, have you got an agent? And I went, not yet. And he went, well, if you need one, I'll help you with that as well. And then went back here. And then I'd left Liverpool that morning. And then I returned home with a year contract on my first job. And I graduated in the July, and the 7 brides posters were already up at the Empire. So I've got pictures of me at my graduation. Like, I'm in there,
And it's special, isn't it? If you're doing like a UK tour
to come to the Empire,
to come to our
I love
beautiful Empire Theatre.
Empire's my favourite, and I'd been on there with you as a kid. So then I was going to be on there as a professional, and it was really, really special. And then I done my showcase, and I did get an agent from my showcase. I got a really, really good agent in London, based in Covent Garden, and she was like, a big driving force. She was like, right, you're gonna, I think by the age of 25, you're gonna be doing this, you'll be dance captain. And she had this like plan straight away as soon as she met me. She was quite a force. So but I was just this little 19-year-old girl, and it was just, everything just seemed to happen at once. But it didn't happen by magic. I'd worked dead hard, and I was lucky in a respect. But
you were also very talented, Natalie.
And I was driven, I worked really. I was in college every day on time. I was in my uniform, and sometimes I was exhausted. I was coming home and I was teaching for money to try and pay for all the leotards I needed and help my mum and dad out as best I can. But it pays off. It did pay off. And I had 7 brides, my first professional job. I had an absolute ball. I had a ball. I was 19. I was touring the country. Bought myself a little car. Mum and dad were nervous wrecks because I was in a different city every week, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. And I think I was 19. I'd never lived away from home. I'd never cooked a meal. I'd never put a washing machine on. And I had to grow up like that. And I did. But I met some amazing people who really took me under their wing. Some of them were older, wise. I'd been on tour before. And I had an amazing year on that contract, and the choreography and everything was really hardcore. So my dancing stayed, up to date, and I was on it. And
would they say, don't they, hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard. But when talent works hard, something magical happens. It's really special. So,
well, I do see that now.
You see it, don't you? When you're teaching yourself, you see lots of different things in loads of different kids. But so you went on, you worked for years doing What else did you do after Seven
So
Brides?
after Seven Brides, like the tour did a break at Christmas and I went in to do a panto in Swansea. Then the tour carried on, and then as it finished, they offered me Sleeping Beauty in Bath. So I was playing Sleeping Beauty in Bath. That was the panto season for that. And then as I finished Sleeping Beauty, there was it was in the Merseyside old building actually, an audition for the John Bishop UK Arena tour.
Yeah.
And he only wanted, which I love about him, he only wanted people either from Liverpool who all were training in Liverpool as part of his tour.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be home at the time, and I went along to the audition, and I got it, and I got dance captain on it. And what it was, John Bishop done his whole set, and then at the end he said, you know, this comedy stuff's great, but what I really wanted to be was this. And then he went off, came back as like John Travolta in the white suit.
Yeah.
And we were all the dancers for a bit of Night Fever. And again, I toured with that, but you know, the treatment on that job was fantastic.
Was it?
Yeah, we got toured on tour buses that like Lady Gaga uses. We got put up in the Hiltons or Malmaisons, wherever we was. It was like a different thing from, obviously Seven Brides was wonderful. It's just a completely different experience.
Yes.
It was in arenas as well, Royal Albert Hall. And then as I was coming towards the end of that, they had auditions for Grease the Musical. And we were in somewhere really far away from London with John Bishop.
Yeah.
I couldn't make the auditions. It wasn't possible to make it. And so I missed the auditions. And then what happened was so they cast the whole show, they cast the whole tour of Grease, and one girl dropped out.
Yeah.
And so my agent got in touch and said, where are you on this date? And I said, I'm in Brighton. And she said, right, you need to get to these auditions. And they'd done it in one day, and they needed one person, and I got it.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so I think, again,
What role was that in Greece?
so I was assistant dance captain, swing, cover cha-cha.
Yeah.
So that's the only role I could get. The only role for grabs was that, because the girl who had to pull out for, you know, personal reasons, that was her role. So they were casting that only.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it would have been if I would have ever auditioned for Grease from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, but actually what I got was fantastic, because I'd never been a swing on a show.
Yeah.
I covered cha-cha first cover, so I went on a lot for that role.
Yeah.
And I was assistant dance captain on a UK tour, so that taught me an awful lot.
Yeah.
I'm being swing, I used to have to jump in last minute, you know, so they'd be like, right, so-and-so's ill, just been vomiting in the wings, you're on. And I'd just go on and have to do their track.
Yeah.
And so that taught me an awful lot.
Yeah.
Rather than being in Seven Brides, I was the same role every night, brilliant. But then this was a brand new experience, a brand new challenge.
Yeah.
And it was a hard work. It's hard work, but I loved every minute of Grease. I ended up doing it for 18 months in the end.
And what did you do after that?
So after Grease, I wanted to come home and see where I was at.
Yeah.
Take
some time.
Yeah, and I'd been away for so long. I started teaching here, there and everywhere. And I started doing a bit more choreographing then. So I then got asked to choreograph a musical. It was Liverpool based. It was going to be performed at the Epstein. Called Lather Bird Song.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, it was about the Blitz.
Yeah.
And so I choreographed and performed in that musical. And I started then moving more towards that. And I noticed that even though I was going to auditions and I was getting quite far still, if not to the finals, the fire had gone down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it was because I've missed out, because I went on a cruise ship and met Dan. I missed that.
Love.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So what I did actually after the panto, I went on the ship before John Bishop.
Yeah.
That's what I've missed out. The ship was in the middle, and I met Dan.
Yeah. Who is now your husband?
Who is now my husband, been together 15 years, married for 10 years. So yeah, I missed that whole bit out. But yeah, I did the ship and met Dan. So I did do John Bishop.
What cruise line was that?
That was P&O.
P&O.
Yeah. So Dan was in the Merchant Navy, and I was obviously dancing, and we weren't supposed to be on the same ship at the same time. The way it works, kind of like sliding doors. I kind of feel like I was meant to meet Dan. You know, yeah, I was meant to meet Dan. And then after that, when I toured with Grease, Dan had said, I've had enough of the Merchant Navy now. You know, I don't want to do it anymore. And I said, well, the Spotlight fella's leaving. On Grease. Spotlight fella's leaving on Grease. So this fella, lovely Aaron, he used to sell the programmes.
Yeah.
And he'd do the Spotlight on Grease. And I says, you should interview Dan for the job. You never know. And I said, you'd be on tour with me, you know,
Yeah.
and want to be together. So anyway, he interviewed and he got it. So the back end of
He's also a qualified electrician,
also
isn't he?
and a primary
Yeah.
school teacher, yeah.
And
He's
a
got
primary
every
school
job
teacher.
under the sun. He can
Yeah.
do anything. But he said, yeah, I'll have a go. Got the job. And we toured together for a while on Greece.
Well, that's good, isn't it? That works well.
But mad, because
Yeah.
you'd never, think that was happening, but it did. And then I think after Greece, that's when I knew that he was no longer going to be working away, because we'd done that long distance relationship for 2 years at this point.
So you had done long distance for 2 years.
We'd done it for 2 years.
That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did you navigate that?
Yeah, it's just, I think a lot of FaceTime, speaking to each other. And I remember, I was thinking about this after our conversation. I remember Dan doing really lovely things. You know, like he recorded himself. He's not even a singer, but he can play piano and he'll have a go at singing.
Can he play piano as well?
Yeah, he can crochet, he can piano, he can bake.
Oh, he's amazing.
I just cartwheel around.
And he's an amazing cook.
And
Yeah.
you know, he's cook. But he just, what was I saying then? Gone off my train of thought.
Yeah, you said about the long distance.
Oh yeah, so he went to the grand piano one night on the ship when everyone was in bed.
Yeah.
And he played me a song, sang the song, recorded it, and sent it to me on tour. So I think things like that is what got us through the long distance.
Romantic.
I think it's the effort, and it's really hard. But yeah, he done things like that. And then I remember one time he docked in Southampton and I was in Bradford, and we randomly had a day off that we didn't normally have.
Yeah.
And I checked where he was, and he was docking in Southampton that day, and I thought, I'm going down there. Yeah. So I got in touch with people who were new on the ship and said, can you get me a day pass? And they were like, yeah.
Being a Scouse girl, you know, you were going to
get on that whatever happened, I used to happen. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I said, right, get me on that ship, basically. Drove down to Southampton without him knowing, and got on the ship, which was one thing. But then I actually managed to get into his cabin without him knowing.
Wow.
While he was in the shower. Because one of the officers who were his mates, who I knew, walked past at just the right time. And I said, can you let me in his cabin? And he went, not really meant to. Yeah, but I will. And I went, go on then. So he let me in, and Dan's singing in the shower. Right? I'm not joking. Come on. And so sat on the bed with my little suitcase, my scarf and my coat on. And I'm thinking any minute he's going to get the surprise of his life. And he's singing away. And then the shower goes off, and I think, there we go. And then his ages. Must be putting his moisturiser on or whatever. And I'm going, and I'm getting impatient because I don't like waiting. And then I just shout out, are you nearly ready or what? And he's like, he opened the little tiny door, because the tiny little cubicle doors on the ship for your bathroom.
Yeah.
And he just goes, what are you doing here? But not in a Scouse voice, because he's southern. And then closes the door. And I'm like, and then he just comes back out, but he was in shock.
Yeah.
Because obviously he just gone to
You're in his cabin.
And I'm sat on his bed like that. So doing things like that, I think, absolutely got us through the long distance.
Yeah.
You know, putting the effort in.
Yeah.
Making time for each other when we saw each other, making it really special.
I thought you were going to say you crept into the shower, you know, Natalie.
No, I was there, we covered the scarf.
I was thinking, where are we going with this?
No, God love him. But yeah, he came out and just, I think doing things like that. And obviously, I absolutely loved Dan the moment I saw him. I think people go on about, in movies, love at first sight.
Yeah.
Without sounding too cheesy, I absolutely knew that day I met him, I wanted to marry him. You know, I knew, and I made a good choice.
He's a good man.
He's a really lovely person, and he's, even with me school, he just does whatever I need him to do, whenever I need him to do it. Even with helping me with admin, he's just set me up like an online shop for uniform. You know, like, he helps me so much with the business. With his job, I couldn't help him. I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
But he always helps me out, and he always sits and listens, and he's a big part of my school, you know, as well. So yeah, he's just definitely an all round.
He's a gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
He does a lot more. That's literally only scratching the surface, isn't it? He's been your rock.
Yeah, he's a rock. Yeah, absolutely. So he's the father of my 2 children, but he's an amazing, like, father figure and uncle to my nieces and nephews as well. And he's just, I've had a bit of a mad 15 years in my personal life. As you know, it's been a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Different things going on. And Dan has always been still.
Yes.
Just, you know, whatever I need him to.
He's got a very calming aura about him,
Yeah.
Dan.
He's so calming, and I need that because I'm not.
Yeah.
So even though our personal life is with different things going on, it's been like a roller coaster amongst it all. I would say we've rode it together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we've rode it together, and it's been all right because I've had that. So
And the roller coaster hasn't been with your love going up and down,
Oh, no.
or break up, nothing like that at all. Your marriage is solid.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
somebody looking in, it's been other
Yes,
other issues within the family, hasn't it? You know,
Yeah.
and you've had a lot of difficulties to face. I know that, and you currently look after some other family members, don't you?
Yeah, so I'm part of like caring for other children, and my dad's been poorly, and my sister suffers from mental health. So it has been a bit of a rocky journey, but we're doing it. You know, we're doing it. And
Yeah.
the kids, there's 6 kids in the mix. So there's my 2, and then there's 4 others. And we bought a 9-seater van and everything, and we go on our jolly holidays on it. And yeah, our family is different than the usual, and the setup's different, but we make it work.
Yeah.
And Dan is just like riding the storm and all of that, and never falters. Do you know what I mean?
He's solid, isn't he?
So it's very lucky in that way.
When did you open your school?
So I opened it 13 years ago. It was the anniversary in May. And when I initially opened it, I was thinking about this as well after our chat, because it makes you reflect on a lot
Yeah.
coming onto this podcast. And when I first opened NDTS, it was just our theatre classes I was offering. So just the dance, singing and drama in one class.
Yeah.
Didn't offer any of the ballet or tap or commercial or lyrical or anything.
Yeah.
I just wanted it because it is a theatre school.
Yeah.
So NDTS is not a dance school. We do dance, but we're a theatre school.
Yeah.
So when we first opened, our main focus was theatre craft. So your dancing and your drama combined to become that triple threat. Over time, it became apparent that people wanted more.
Yeah.
And I started to then open more classes, and we started to become more into, you know, some more technical dance classes and things that we didn't offer. And I've really seen that change the school,
Yeah.
because it's almost like, me and Dan always talk about this, it's like we've got 3 compartments of NDTS. We've got the theatre classes, and then we've got the dance and acro, which is happening on a Tuesday, and then Saturday is all the other dance. So it's like some kids will come to all 3 because they're all completely separate things almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're going to 3 different schools in a way, but it's not, because it's the same teachers and everything.
Yeah.
But each time you come, you're getting a completely different class.
Yeah.
So if you come to a theatre class, you know, the dance is not as technical within that. Yeah, it's not as intense. But if you come on a Tuesday, then the dance is really intense. So you can get different things from it, and a lot of kids do come to all of it. And that's when we see our children who do all of it, they then are kind of strong across the board. That's what we're trying to create.
Yes. Because to be a triple threat and have and train right across the board,
Yeah.
you do have to come to multiple classes.
Yeah,
don't you?
definitely. Yeah,
You know,
and some kids don't want that. Some kids want to come once a week.
Yeah.
And have loads of fun with the friends, read a fun script, and put on a little show now and again. And that's enough. We have other kids who want a career in it. We've had 2 girls only last year get to the finals and semi-finals for Matilda UK tour.
Amazing.
We did the first audition, these 2 kids.
Yeah.
And they smashed it out the park. And that's because they can dance, they can sing, and they can act really well.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they are raw talent, these kids. And yeah, and as you said earlier, you know, you get talent versus hard work, and we have talent and hard work, it's magic. I've got quite a few kids who are that magic. But for them 2 kids getting so far in Matilda as a teaching team, because it's not just me, I've got wonderful staff as well. It kind of made us go, oh, we're doing something right here.
Yeah.
You know, because you can teach for so long, and you can see different things.
It's
on
nice
social
to
media,
get the recognition.
Yeah, and just a bit of
After
clarity
all your
that,
hard
like,
work.
yeah, you know, what we're doing in class is paying off.
Yeah.
Because these 2 children would not have got that far without talent, which they've got, hard work, which they give, and also the classes that we offer. So a combination of all of it meant these 2 children did so well, and they were so close. You know, out of thousands of kids.
Yeah.
But
you've also got Beau Dermot
that
came through your school.
Yeah.
So does she teach for you now, Beau?
So Beau teaches private singing lessons.
She's got an incredible voice.
And
She got a golden buzzer at
She got
Britain's Got
at age
Talent.
12.
Yeah.
Age 12, she sang Defying Gravity and she got a golden buzzer. And then she went on to have an amazing career as a child. She released an album and everything. And she took a bit of a back step because she sadly lost her dad.
That's right, yeah.
She took a bit of a back step for a bit and they were dealing with that, which was really hard for them. But now she's going up again. As in, like, she's doing...
Putting herself back out there a lot
Yeah,
more.
and Beau's fantastic. And I see Beau, you know, I really speak fondly of Beau. My Lowenna is Lowenna Beau. So my Lowenna's middle name is after Beau. Beau and Karen, two of my like lovely friends now. And I see Beau being West End, being Broadway, being... You know, one of my drama teachers always said she could be like the voice of a Disney princess. You know, the voice she's got,
It's beautiful, isn't it?
it's pure. She's fantastic and she's a lovely person. So I think she's done a lot. She's performed with some big people. I think she even performed for the Queen when she was here. I'm sure she did. She's done quite a lot of concerts and she did end up doing some concerts to raise money for cancer research and stuff.
I think I went to one in the Philharmonic Hall. Oh, what she sings beautifully live.
She's amazing.
Oh,
she's amazing. And that girl, my friend who's playing Alphabet at the minute in the West End, I actually tagged it in something about the other week to be like, look at this girl, you know, because I think she needs this. She needs to be on the West End.
Oh yeah,
she's fabulous enough, but it's a really hard industry as well.
Yeah,
you know, and it's harder even now than when I graduated. I think to get in then West End and UK tours now, there's so much talent. The talent that the college is producing now, it's gone up another level.
Yeah,
like what the colleges are bringing out each year, all the different London colleges, all the Northwest.
Yeah,
the amount of people auditioning now, it's so hard.
Yeah,
you know, to get them leading ladies and things.
I took I've mentioned John Taylor that I used to teach with friends with. John's got Down syndrome. We chatted about John in the last podcast that I did, but I took John to watch Beau.
Yeah,
he's friends with Beau.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I can't remember whether he took me or I took him. Whoever had the tickets, we teamed up and we went and we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because John's brother's good friends.
And you were there that night as well, weren't you? Yeah, but that was a lovely concert.
Yeah,
you were pregnant at the time.
Pregnant. I had some dancers in it and stuff as well.
Beau's dad was still alive then.
Yeah, I think that was their last concert while he was here, and I remember it because I was pregnant and no one knew I was pregnant. And Beau and Ian at the time, Karen had said, "Would you like to dance in Beau's show?" And I'd said, yeah. And then I'd obviously, as I got a bit bigger, and I thought, I don't know if I can do this. So I said, I can't dance. And they were like, oh, it's okay. I said, because I'm pregnant. But I will sort your other dancers. And I sorted some other dancers for them to do it. Beau's just world class.
Yeah, so you must be really proud of Beau.
Oh,
she is fabulous, isn't she? So your school... You've been to Salou with us, haven't you, Natalie?
Yeah. Pregnant again at Salou. I was pregnant in Salou in the heat.
Yeah, and it was lovely, wasn't it?
Amazing.
So what have you got planned? I know what you've got planned for next year, but you can tell me, you know.
Yeah, can't wait for that. But we're doing Disney this summer.
Yeah.
And then we're doing New York next summer.
Yeah.
Which is a big one.
Yeah.
New York.
Just remind me how many you've got coming.
I've got 40 coming to New York.
40 kids coming to New York.
Which I'm chuffed with actually, because it's America, so it's a big, you know, flight over there and everything.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for New York, because as much as Disney's great,
I can't wait for you to come to New York.
I can't wait to come to New York, because we've done Disney a few times.
Yeah.
You know, so even though it's amazing, it's different as well, because you'd have less creative freedom, let's say, with Disney, because there's a lot of restrictions and lifts and throws and things. I feel like with New York, me and the staff can really get our ideas flowing and really think outside the box. And so choreography and stuff and costumes, I'm looking forward to doing all that for New York and going to New York with all the kids. And what an experience.
It's amazing. It's a beautiful theatre, you know.
I've been having a look and I've been sharing it with the parents, and a girl who taught acro for me quite recently, she'd came with a school with you guys, and they'd done this amazing thing where they'd paid for the kids to be put on one of the billboards, you know, in Times Square.
Yeah, quite a few schools do that now.
Yeah, and I thought that was an amazing idea.
And it's quite inexpensive out of the school funds.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like really, really expensive. I think it's about £100-200. So with school funds, that's easily fundraised. I mean, don't quote me on that. It might not be exactly right.
It's to be like a picture of the
Yeah.
side and they're on the billboard.
But a lot of schools do that, and they have all the kids turn around and see the faces on the billboards, which is lovely.
I think New York's like another level, you know, to the trips. I think.
And another thing is amazing that a lot of people do when they're there. So you have to do this with yours. Samantha Carlson did it when she brought her school.
Yes.
Loads of schools have done it. We went to Ellen's Stardust Diner.
Oh, I love it there. I've been there before.
And then while you're all eating your meal
Everyone's singing
and drinking your drink, like the performing waiters and waitresses, and they're all so talented.
Yeah, they've all been on Broadway and like out of jobs and working.
Well, either that or the students and their funding their training still. They're just incredible.
I love it in there.
I do.
Amber can't wait.
I never want to get out the door. They can't get me out. I'm like, I'll have another drink. I'm like, Dad,
gives me another waffle.
Yeah.
I know, Amber can't wait for that.
How did you know I had another waffle now?
I don't know, just something told me.
Oh, no, but there's so many good things like that to do. And we have an after show party, don't we? So you'll have to come to that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I always organise one, because I think, you know, it's hard for teachers to have extra things to do like that. So we have a place that we go, and they provide food and a drink for everyone, and the DJ. This year we've got a saxophone player.
Amazing.
And everything like that. So the kids are dead excited, but I'm sure it'll be no different next year. So yeah. But yeah, I've got one more question, Natalie.
Yeah.
Before the end of the podcast, which is little Natalie.
Yeah.
I mean, you were good as gold. I remember you being like that, and you've always been incredible. I'm a big fan of yours. But if you were to say something to little Natalie that would help now in your life or growing up, or, you know, if you could give yourself any advice when you were little, what would you say?
So if I could tell little Natalie something, I'd probably say all your hard work's going to pay off, and just remain genuine, kind, but remember you can't pour from an empty cup. That's what I'd probably tell her.
Yeah.
I'd probably tell her.
Such a good,
I think.
Such good advice. Would you tell little Sharon that as well?
Yeah, Sha, come here.
Natalie, thanks.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it, to know what to say, but maybe something along those lines.
Yeah, amazing. Thanks
Natalie.
Love you loads. Give us a hug. Thank you for listening. You can subscribe and share with your dance friends and families. I'm Sharon Collins. This is the Real Smile podcast, brought to you by Smile Productions.